So welcome back to the ESS from a payroll point of view sessions itself. Then yesterday, I'll just summarize quickly what we have studied. We have seen ESS three case studies. Then I
Yes,
discussed regarding the launchpad. Okay, ESS launchpad. I think you've got an idea how to
yes,
differentiate active application and inactive applications, right?
Yes, sir.
Yesterday,
yes, sir. Yes,
and how
yes,
to activate certain things and how to deactivate or certain things. And also we have
yes,
seen what are the resources in the right hand side. We have seen what the application name and all it is. Okay. So today we'll be going
yes.
more focused discussion on Indian payroll specific scenario. Okay, so you just
Okay,
navigate to the Indian payroll specific.
okay.
Yeah, go to employee self services. Yes. So here you can see in Indian payroll scenario how many nodes are there. You can see scroll a bit down.
Yes,
ESS tax declarations, advance claim, loans, leave encashment, salary in income tax projection statement solution. Okay. So we will go one by one. Today, let's discuss ESS tax declaration, which is an important one. We just expand that.
yes,
So the first one, you will be seeing defined fields and its attributes at the header level. Okay, so just execute that. I will tell you what is that.
okay. First
Okay.
one.
So there are four fields here in the pop-up. You can see solution type, general application type, trigger screen rendering field, trigger screen rendering field. Okay, so what are the meaning of it? In solution type, if you choose the drop-down value, then you can understand. Just choose a particular value, put F4, or choose the
Yes,
drop-down value. Select that work area.
yes.
Okay, this is interesting. So can you guess which info type it might be? These are all.
IOS.
Sorry. There are shortcut there in the right hand side. Also, they have written some
Yes, sir.
kind of
Other sources and house properties.
IOS.
which info type. Can you recall?
80s.
580. You people forgot. Long time.
81, sir. HR
HRA,
81.
HRA is 581. That is fine. And basically, house property and other sources. Basically, these are income from other sources. Another one is income from other sources. Okay. So basically, these are the series of 581, 584, 585, 586, all those things. Okay. So you can just try with the first one, HRAC.
HRS. Okay.
Select that one.
Yeah.
HRSC, go to general application type. Now, solution type, you understood what is the solution type, right?
Yes.
Now we'll understand general application type. You go there, general application type, drop down value. Okay, same thing is there. So you can choose the same one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now you just tick that. Tick that. You can choose same thing. Yes, it's the same values only. Just click that tick button. Don't need to select.
Okay. Yeah.
Select that
Okay.
tick button. Yeah. So basically, the configurations are maintained here. Can you get? Did you see that here? So here we are mentioning like these are different fields under 581. Okay. So like proposed rent account amount, proposed rent amount, your actual rent amount, your actual rent amount, all these things are details are here. Okay. And in the UI position, go to the drop down value. What are the values you can see? UI
Okay.
position, left, right,
The center.
center. So basically, actually, even if you're doing nothing here, automatically will show as perfectly in the ESS. Okay. In case if you want to see any of this field little bit right, little left, okay, then you can do some changes. But actually, this configuration I have not done. Okay, like mostly the standard whatever it is there, it will suffice.
Okay.
Just for your information, this is how a typical whenever you are looking at ESS MSS, it will be controlled via from here. Okay, even if you are having 581 info types, that info type screen will not be shown as 581. So whatever it is there inside this, okay, it will be shown like in a sequence. Okay, so what you can do, you can now go back.
Okay.
Okay, same is applicable for section 80C, section 80. Okay, now we choose another application in the same node. In the same node, you try first one. Choose a solution called section 80. That section 80 or 80C, whatever. That because those are the most important one. Last one you can choose S80C. Last one S80C.
Yeah.
Yeah, choose that one.
S80.
Select that one.
Okay.
And general application type also you can select that one. Section 80C. Select. Now you can see this is a very similar structure we do have. You do get it. It's more or less similar. Nothing much you have to configure. But as understanding, you have to understand that this is the text. In case you would like to change this text, you can change. But actually, this is a technically over all the companies, clients that use this terminology. So you should not change these things also. It is not recommended. Okay.
Yes, sir. UI position means how this field will appear in the UA in the UI screen.
So, yes, basically you'll be seeing in the screen how it will be looking like. Okay, but in fact in the demo system, whatever you are using, you can't do it. Okay, because you do not have an ESS connectivity. Mostly in the client projects, once you get a job and inside that specific you get a chance to do that, then only you can be able to explore these things. Okay, but nothing much here to be done as a consultant also. Okay, now you go back.
So, yes, sir. We have to do all those things like payroll. With payroll also, we have to do all those things.
Yes,
like,
yes. As a implementation, generally, yes, there is a ESS consultant. They generally do it, but you should know it is better actually. Suppose is there any issue, then you can solve these things actually. Okay. Now this is all about the first section, defining field and its attribute. Okay. Now you go to the next node.
Okay. Define values for
at the header level.
Okay.
Similarly, choose a particular solution type. Choose this time section 80 or something like that. You can see now subcategories are there. Okay, so like if you see an HR specific application, if you go choose any will come down from section 80 or section 80C. Out of that, you can choose something. Section 80 or 80C, you can choose.
Section 80A.
Consider actual that you can choose or anything else. Yeah. General application type, we choose section 80. Select that one. So here actually nothing has been maintained. Okay, in case if you are using any specific field or in the header, okay, that you can add here. Okay, by clicking the new entries. Okay, you can click the new entries. Okay, then you can decide what are the values for the header. Suppose if you like to customize something in the header. Okay, but anyway, actually in the standard application also it will work without this configuration. So this configuration not very important. Okay, just for your understanding, I just explaining. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you go back.
Okay.
Click that exit button. Now you just go to the third one, define fields.
Okay.
This is also similar thing. Okay.
So which one I need to choose?
Section 80 or section 80C because those are the most popular, mostly used. Yeah. Okay. Select that one. Okay. Now you will be seeing like here, whether it is a mandatory field or not mandatory field, you can control here. Okay. Did you see that option? There is a mandatory checkbox.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And certain things you can see here. Okay, like in the column number 4, it is a mandatory option, and all these the field width. Okay, suppose you'd like to increase that. Okay, then those things you can choose for section 80C point of view. Okay, you just select one line item and click that lens button. Same thing you can also see there. Choose one line item and click that lens button upon in the top. Click that details. Now you can see in a different view. Okay, it's the same thing. You are seeing in a different view, maximum limit, maximum investment limit. Here also you can change. Suppose you do like to say something, okay? And there is an option of function module. Okay, what is a function module? Any idea?
No, sir.
Okay, function module basically it comes from ABAP. Okay, suppose you would like to customize something, okay, then you can set up that functional value name here so that it will be controlled via that. So you can write that, but it is a standard. Also, you can use it. There is a no hard and fast rule as such. Okay.
Okay.
So scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Yeah.
Yes.
So like here, you can see employee privileges, approver privileges. What are these things? Suppose you are an employee. Okay. So as an employee, if suppose it is written visible on screen, readable on screen, means that value will be displayed to you. Okay. And same goes with your, suppose you are not selecting that one, you are unticking a particular value, then that particular value or particular field will not be visible to the ESS. Same goes with your approver privileges. And approver privileges also, if you're ticking by chance, if it is not ticked, then it will not be visible to the approver. Okay. So it should be the typical configuration. All these things must be ticked. Okay. So that is the standard configurations.
Okay.
Are you getting my point, Lakshmi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you just go back. We will not be going all the fields because of more or less similar only. Okay. So you can explore. Okay. So just go back. Yeah. Now go to the next line item, define values for fields at multiple line levels. This is also very similar.
I am taking here with the ATC here.
So here also very similar which I have told you earlier. Okay, if any custom value if you are maintaining, then that you can maintain here. But again, it is an optional. Okay. So not that much important, but also this one.
So the what value it will be visible to the employee? Like we are maintaining the data here, and employee will maintain the data here.
No, it's not a maintained data. It's a kind of a configurations here. Okay. So what kind of
yeah, I'm asking about in ESS portal. So will employee will enter the data about section ATC deduction?
Suppose you have created a custom field here, okay, and that custom field will be visible to the employee, and they can maintain that value against that. Okay, so that is the point. Now, if you want to read details about it, just go back. I will tell you.
Yeah. Okay. So the particularly except payroll, like some like employee have the another income, and he have the two houses. So that information employee needs to enter the data, right?
Yes. Employee can provide that. Yeah. Okay. So now just click that help button there, means that help file. The image, not that one. Below that execution button is there, right? The help file where the documentation is maintained.
Yeah, here, sir.
I would recommend you to go through all these, whatever you are reading, IMG activity information. Yeah. So here you'll be getting an idea what exactly to be done. Okay, so basically, and also the field value or field table maintain you will be getting like this. Okay, so like whatever I have explained here. Okay, so they explain like you have to maintain this field. Otherwise, they have also mentioned this field value from SM30. Also, you can go and you can choose your application type, solution type. Okay, then you maintain the same thing they have explained here. Okay, you can now close it.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So now next one is a maintain mail configuration. This is one important one. So for any kind of approval and all, suppose if you like to have some kind of notifications for employee as well as your approver, okay, so that can be configured here. So reimbursement types, so there are different types of reimbursement which we have discussed earlier, medical,
yes,
LTA, car, all kind of, okay, LTC, so whatever. You can just choose one of the things, petrol, okay. So there are different types of request type. You can choose anything.
Can I?
Request type you choose. Request type you can choose anyone.
Request type.
LTC not required because we are not choosing LTC here. So here you can see there are different types of application. Like it can be claim, it can be advance. Okay. So claim and advance, what is the difference? Any guess?
Claim means we already spent the amount.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. So claim advance and again claim against advance. Encashment mostly for leave encashment is applicable. General application means suppose any other custom application which you are using. Yesterday we were discussing about that AP Transco example, right? There are so many other custom application they have built. Okay. So in
Yes,
those cases,
yes,
they can use this application only, AP application, or last one is a generic application. Okay. Any
yes.
kind of cancellation they would like to do, then you can use this SC application. Okay. So there are many such things are there. You can choose the first one. We'll explore that one. CL
Okay.
claim. Yeah. Then you just click that tick button. No need of LTC scheme code. It is only for LTA.
Okay.
So after doing this, so here what you can do like customize mail configurations. Okay. So here you can just click new entries. I will tell you, but you can't test it as of now. Only I will mention that how to configure this thing. Because of that, for that you need ESS connection. Okay. So now you can see and understand two things here. What is the difference between request phase and request status? Okay. So you just request phase, choose a drop down. There are three things. One is new in process completed. It is very straightforward. What is just click that new button there. I will tell you.
New button. Okay.
After choosing new, for the request status again, you have to choose drop down. So here you can see there are multiple things. Okay. Suppose you are putting a reimbursement, say car maintenance reimbursement. Okay. There will be 3 pages. One is a new phase in your complete income in process, then complete. So then even after that request phase is new, okay, then in the request status, it can be, there are multiple things. And these are all self-explanatory. So it can be new, it can be to be approved, partially approved where it will come. Suppose there are two level of approval. Suppose you have put in reimbursement, it will be going to your manager and it will also go to your HOD, let's say. Okay, your manager has been approved, but HOD has not approved. Head of the department has not approved. In that case, you will be seeing that is partially approved. That means it is 50% approved. Okay, that is a scenario of partially approved. Okay. Similarly, you'll be having approved result are straightforward. Okay. Then processing complete to be processed. What is the meaning? So that means already approved, but again it is be going to the salary. Means it will be not, your info types have not been updated. HR will be running a program. Then you'll be able to see those. It will be, once it is done, the processing will be completed. Okay. So that is the thing. So there are same thing like a close, settle means you are already receiving it. Then it will be settled. Okay. These are all self-explanatory, but one thing is request page is one thing, request status is this thing. Okay, so that is the thing here you have to remember.
Yes, sir. This is the where will be the application status.
Exactly. So the idea is you may not want all kind of notification, right? Suppose only in case of approval or only in case of rejection you want mail notification. So what you will be doing? So like you'll be choosing say new, then you can choose approved. Okay, choose approved. Yeah. Okay. In case of approved, then suppose you can choose mail immediately. Okay. Then you can write the mail subject here, who in the approver also email subject here. Okay. So all those things you can write here. Then if you save it, then during your whenever your reimbursement process is happening, okay, so that this configuration will be read by the system and your email will be triggered accordingly. Okay. So in the email subject, again, it will be subject to the client. Client will be having their own subject line like approved for this and this. Okay. So you can mention those things and start date and end date. You can put like, suppose you are going live 1st of January 2021. You can put start date as 2021 January, end date you can put a 31/12/9999. Okay. So in this way you can configure it. Okay. And yeah, so in the approver section, you'll be seeing like there is an option called attach PDF document. Okay. In employee section also we have that option. That means employee can attach a document, PDF document with the claim. Okay, so those kind of options are here. Okay, are you able to follow me? What I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
this is not very difficult, but you have to know where exactly these are configured. Okay, so for that reason,
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
explaining because this is also related to payroll only. Okay, so you
Okay.
scroll down.
Okay.
The general this is considered as advanced payroll or your portal related. Okay. Similarly,
Oh,
suppose
okay.
you are having administrator. Okay, suppose in some company they are along with your employee approver, they also have HR admin. Okay, in those cases also you can maintain this administrator field. Otherwise, you can leave it. Okay, so
Okay.
this is the configuration related to the all types of mail. Okay,
Okay.
now we scroll up a little bit.
Okay, sir.
They're very simple, nothing different, but you have to understand. Just
Yes,
put your cursor on the request status.
sir.
Request status.
Status.
Request
Request
status.
Yeah.
request status.
Approved.
Put an F1 help there. Click F1. Request status. Yes. So here you'll be getting the code here. Okay. So request status can be, these are the different codes for different status of the request. Okay. So like dependency is there. Just that is very important one. Scroll down. Whenever you are configuring, so this is the dependency between specific request status are valid for specific request page. Okay, and you can maintain the statuses based on the request page. Okay, so you can't put it randomly. Like if the status is new, suppose the page is new, you can't put the status as a approved or deleted. Okay, so there is a specific combination of those page to the your request status. Okay, so suppose if your request status is new, and in that case your request page also must be new, both should be new. Okay, and similarly, suppose your request page is completed, that means it should be request status must be deleted or closed or cancelled or settled or rejected. So these are the different 5 combination of request status for the request page which is completed. Okay. So you can make a chart on this, or is a table on an Excel sheet. Okay, so that you in your whenever you'll be doing such kind of configurations, it will be helpful. And same goes with your request phase. Suppose I am saying in process. In process means it is like to be approved or partially approved or to be paid. Okay, so these are the 4 combination of request statuses under request phase in process. So you have to remember there are 3 request phase. It's easy to remember,
Yes.
but request status will be
Yes, sir.
again. You can't put all kind of combinations. So this is actually it is logical also if you think through. Okay, so you can okay, so you can read those things. And the last line is very important again. Like it says, status process in payroll is valid for in process or completed phase. Okay, so example, it is if it is a claim request. Okay, the status processed in payroll is valid for completed phase. Suppose it is already processed in your payroll. Okay, that means you are definitely getting that amount in your salary. Okay, so that is the meaning of a completed phase. Okay, and if it is an advanced request, then the process in payroll is valid for your in process phase. So these are the different combinations we do have. Okay, so this is actually I just thought of highlighting. Okay, because whenever you are configuring, generally people make mistake here. Okay, so you can just close it now. Any question here?
No, sir. I got your point clearly.
Okay. So this is same thing you will be configuring for other things also, but you'll be not able to demonstrate here. Just I'm explaining.
Okay.
Just go back. Now we'll be going to the next one. Next one is also very important one. Maintaining editing control for proposed and actual value. Execute. So this is a very important one, and recently I have done it. Okay, so like if you there is a value called ESSTD. This is the payroll constant. Okay, and why it is required? Suppose you are putting a 1, so there is a meaning of it. Okay, you just click that I button there. There are if you are putting a particular value, it will behave differently. 1, or it can be 2, or it can be 3. Okay, Lakshmi, can you read it? Like those, not entirely that 1, 2, 3. What is written?
No, sir.
Can you read it?
I can't. Sir.
That 1, 2, 3 only you read it, like this 3 line.
Yes.
Then I will
Yeah.
ask question.
Yes. You can maintain any one of the following values in this constraint. One, maintain this value if you want the proposed column to be editable and actual column to be non-editable for the employees.
Now you stop here.
Maintain.
So basically, what is the meaning of it? Suppose in the ESS, you will be having 2 columns. One is suppose for a particular claim, not a claim, rather the IT declaration, say your provident fund or your insurance, health insurance or any education thing, tuition fees. Suppose you are going to maintain that value in the ESS. So in the generally in the month of April, we open it, we ask the employees to maintain their proposed value, okay, or throughout the year till January, February, they can update it, January basically, okay. So in that case, your actual will not be available at that point of time, okay. Actual, you suppose if you want to non-editable by the employee, and the proposed value, they can update any time of the year till say December or January, depending upon the policy. Till that time, you can maintain this value as a 1. Are you able to follow me? Why you require, and when you require to maintain this as a 1?
Yes, these 3 conditions. Yes, first one is proposal column to be editable and actual column non-editable for the employee. Second one is proposal column to be non-editable and actual column editable for the employees.
So why it is required? The second one, suppose towards the year end. Basically now it is the year end of Indian payroll. Most of the companies, even including mine. So they actually what they do, they give a particular window of 10 to 15 days. Say February 1st to February 15th, employees are requested to submit their original bill. Okay, so suppose they are requested to original bill, and what they will be doing, so basically they will be submitting their uploading their documents, whatever the actual contribution. Okay, so in that case, they should be able to edit only the actual, because the proposed value they have already updated, right? So for that reason, so number 2, the constant is 2 will be maintained after consulting to your organization, finance or payroll person. Okay, suppose he is telling this is the window, then accordingly you can maintain that. Okay, for that 20 days or 10 days of window. Again, after that period is over, again you have to change it to 1. Okay, so generally the last option generally we do not give. Okay, so we do not want people to maintain both to be editable, either 1 or 2. Okay, so that is the understanding. This is very important. Every year you have to do it towards this period. Okay, so now you can go back. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Yes.
Go back. Now next one, maintain explanation of the text. The remaining are not very important one, so just execute that. I'll tell you. Maintain explanation of text.
Yes.
So this is again the same thing will come in the entire thing. Only those 2 things which I just told you, those are the very important. Otherwise, these are actually not so important one. You can choose any section 80C or anything you can choose. So this is required. Suppose you would like to change some description or text here. Okay, so these are editable. Can you see that? ESS text declaration, some kind of description. Suppose if you like to change some kind of descriptions here. Okay, these are actually again I do not recommend to change anything because are mostly standard. In case some special instruction you would like to give in the extended description. Okay, so in the column number 3 you can write those things. Okay, so that is SAP is given that provision to declaration description. Suppose in any case specific thing you would like to see that. Okay, so you can edit here and same will be visible to the employee. Okay, so you can just choose any one line and just go to the lens button.
Okay.
Click that lens button. Here you can see now clearly. Okay, so this is your description, and in the extended description they have given a more explanation on that. Okay, so this is how a typical line item will be visible to the employee in the ESS. Okay, this is for a record number 1. Okay, and similarly for other records also you can update. Suppose any special instruction from an organization you would like to give it to the employee, you can update that accordingly. Okay, this is clear.
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, now you just go back. Go back again, main page.
Yes.
Now next one is a maintain declaration text and request print layout. Click that one, execute. Yeah. So here you expand that 00002. This is fine. Configure the declaration document in the PDF file format. Okay. So basically, this is actually a feature. Okay. So how to access the feature? PE, which transaction code I told you earlier? Yes.
PE03.
Yes. So if you see this feature, okay. So in this feature, basically your whatever declaration document you are submitting, the people are submitting, how you are going to accept that, that is one way of seeing it. Okay, 40GAD. Okay, this feature is standard feature. Okay, so this will be controlled via this one. Okay, application number. Mostly we are using 4x02. Okay, so the status is active. Okay, so you can just go back here or go to the documentation. But go to the documentation. Yeah. So here you can see you maintain the configure the declaration, whatever the declaration document you are submitting, people are submitting in which format you are going to accept that. Okay, so prefer PDF because mostly the PDF is the accepted one. Okay, so PDF you have now configured here. So this is the one, nothing much. Close it.
Okay.
The remaining two, basically the bodies I'm not discussing because this is actually if you like to any kind of customization on the top of it. Then so first body is basically proposed in actual value. Suppose any kind of control you would like to want, any kind of customization which is not offered by SAP, then you can talk to your ABAPer, technical developer. So they'll be seeing all these options here inside this. Okay, and similarly the determine city category. Okay, so whether it's a metro, non-metro, or any kind of tier 2, tier 3, those kind of any kind of modification you are doing to that. Okay, so in that case, you can explore this two body. Okay, I would recommend just go to that documentation of the first body.
Okay.
What is a body actually? So basically the business add-in we call it. Okay, so this is the kind of any kind of customization of what you are doing. Okay, so in the case you can see the requirement section. Okay, you should only carry out this step if SAP standard processes do not suit your needs. Okay, sometimes some of the clients actually they want like whatever SAP is offering, it is not meeting their requirement. Okay, so in that case you have an option to choose this option, and you have suppose you're having an ABAP and a team, then he can help you in that writing this program, and so that you can control all these things. Okay, so these are the options we do have for a body. Using body, you can manage this customizations. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can close it. Okay, so this is just all about for today's session for ESS. We have a very comprehensive session on today for ESS tax declaration point of view. Just to summarize from an implementation point of view, the two nodes are very important here. One is the maintaining main configuration, where exactly all the notifications we are going to configure. And second one is the maintaining editing control of your proposed and actual values. Okay, so this is also an important one. Basically, you'll be having every year you'll be updating that. Okay, so this is the thing we do have in our for today's session. So tomorrow we'll be starting with the advanced claim. Okay, so this is also an important one. The remaining part, loan, leave encashment, and salary income tax position, maybe day after tomorrow we'll be talking about. It's a very small piece, but advanced claim is also an important one. So meanwhile, you just go through the documentation of all of these things, employee self-services related, ESS tax declaration. If you have any question, just feel free to ask me. Okay, and I'll be sharing that two books basically. So it would be yesterday, I forgot again. So I'll be sharing that was a very huge books basically. I'll be sharing that link again with you, and you can download from that Transfer Now website. Okay. So this is for today's session. So let's meet then tomorrow at the same time. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Shrikant.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.